Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It's the hits. We're back with another one. And today, you guessed it, like in the preview, we are going to go over French drain systems, how they work, and at this point, what we've done for the property. So, I want you to do this with every home, especially your first couple ones you start, is to make a list of everything you did productive and maybe something you can learn from if you're doing this yourself, especially if you're, let's just say you're just getting started. So we're going to start off with our list of improvements with this property that when we got it, it was a nice home, but it definitely needed some loving and some work. So we're going to start off with our major improvement, making sure our gutters were not only done, but done correctly. Granted, we still got a little bit of gutterness going on here I do got to clean up, but I'm going to show you guys the perfect flow differences in this. We'll start with the test. You always want to test these, because most likely if you just lay them on your ground, it's just going to go to one end of the pipe and then it all seeps right back up. So watch. Alright, so we're going to do this. Actually, before we do the rest of this, just how peaceful it is. It's like so nice to just chill out here, do some work on the outdoors. Anyway, so as you're going to hear, our water's going through here. Now, your big thing you want to check is your connectors. Our connectors, we put waterproofing tape. Gorilla Glue makes a waterproofing tape. That's alright. I still recommend tile tape for this. So that's like something I would go over on my list of improvements for doing the things I need to do to fix it. Is next time I'll probably pre-order tile tape. So that would be like a note I would maybe put in. Now here's how you check. So when we lift up, there's not a bunch of water. You hear like a hollow sound. Now there might be water right here. Let's see. See? Listen to that. You hear that? But it's just because, nothing to be alarmed about, it's just because this fell off here. So we're right back to a neutral flow. Now it goes along here. So you can't quite lift that. But as you can see, we're on a slope. Our system's at a slope. So we go a whole way here. And now there might be water sitting right here. I doubt it. Oh, see, we do got water sitting right there. So you just realized you need something else. I need to get more bricks. That's what I need to do. But I thought 20 bricks for my house would be enough, but I need like 10 more. See, I thought 20 would be more than enough to get this job done, and it wasn't close at all. I probably need another 10 or 15 bricks. Luckily, I bought pallets of them years ago, so they just sit back in the woods. So I got unlimited pallets of block, but damn, nothing really to put under it though. You know what, we're just gonna use this for now. It's a little ghetto, but it will work. So as you can see, right here is where your problem is. So you can address it as such. Now, the rest of this flows. Now a good way to test and make sure you're getting to the end is to take a bucket like this put it at the end of that and see if it fills with water. So that's essentially your goal, is to make sure it flows good. Now, we'll run another bucket on the channel. Let me see if I can go get it. Where did I put the bucket? That's part of being burnt out. I forget where you put the buckets at. Anyway, so I would take like a side note and say like, hey, it takes more bricks than you think. You need like 30 or 40 bricks to do one of these. And to use tile tape for pipes. Now, hold on. And now, we're going to retest our system. Let's see what we get. Now, another note is, a lot of them will have these little side pipes. You want to make sure they're also draining down, or you'll still get somewhat of a leak in your basement. So this is what you do. So now we're going to recheck everything. Boom, dry. I know that's dry. We're going to come back down to our problem area right here, and we're dry. See that? See where we were wet, now we're dry. So now you know you have perfect flow going throughout your system. And really it's trial and error. Like, how cool is that? I just find that fascinating. Of like they said Jesus was a carpenter. It's almost like a learning experience from God, of like, well, you want to learn how to lay pipe, man, and work on houses. It just teaches you so naturally. Like, the day I installed these, it rained. I was like, you know, what are the odds of that? Just fascinating. Fascinating way to look at things, you know. But, yeah, so we check our other ones. These are already at a natural slope. So, we're good to go there. So, that is how you do your gutter systems. So, we're going to take a look back at this property and say, well, what did we do? What could we improve on? And, yeah, so as I reflect, definitely realize I need more bricks than I usually expected for these, especially for 70 foot of pipe. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would throw in those notes. No, wait, there's got to be water sitting right here. Yep. Look at that. We need another piece of pipe right there. It's so sneaky. But, so I would reflect on that. Definitely say more bricks. And kind of going about doing a trial and error with the pipes. Make sure they're right. And you have that steady flow. So now we do. Now there's definitely no sag in that at all. It's funny all the random shit we use. Fucking Chinese food. Either way, it looks ghetto. I'll get bricks for it, don't worry. But I just wanted to prove my point of how to do these right. And why you want to do them right. So, because if you don't, what'll happen? You'll just get your water building right up in here. And it won't move. And it'll just back pressure you. So, that's why I'm stressing on the video. Even though I need to get more bricks. So, anyway, so we take a note and we say, well, we completely fixed the mold problem. Permanently. So, it was definitely a success. French drains are not always needed. Something we can learn from this property and reflect on. And, so then we'll go to the basement and say, well, doing the basement was a fairly easy process. I just got the long paint extenders from Walmart. You get the aluminum stretch out ones. They sell paint kits with 2 rollers and a brush and the pad for $20. So paint costs aren't that bad. But I would go on the note of something you would learn is do not use oil-based paints like this. So if we're going over the property, and what I would note is basically those things, but we've dramatically improved the property. We've given it a new basement floor look, like that counts a lot. And I still got to paint the inside walls, but you want to make your basement look like brand new, man. It's such a good selling point. And what does it really take but a little bit of work, especially painting, and just getting latex paint? It's worth every penny, especially because it just makes your whole basement look like brand new, and that's where you save a lot of money in your home purchases. Is this big step right here is like finding an already solid basement, and like where all the blocks good like this. You see all the blocks really good on this foundation. It's like it's older. This is like a 56 construction, but it's still block, bro, and it's savable block. It's in immaculate condition. Doesn't have a bunch of cracks through it, or a bunch of these moved. Like, that's just the stuff you look for. But like something else I'd recommend doing is maybe going along here and painting it, but I'm leaving that alone. It's already good enough. What other notes I put? Always check that it has a metal roof or a good roof, and the gutter systems. Like, that's something you want to put a note on. The gutter systems are good on this place. And what else? But yeah, essentially, we improved the basement from moldy and rundown looking to brand new looking, and we installed pipe, and we fixed the foundation technical issue of that water leaking onto the foundation. Foundation's fine, but it's definitely was an issue of getting drains put in for the gutter water. So, going over everything, there's a drain right there. But, so it's very interesting to reflect and see what we could improve on, stuff we still need to do, which is like painting these up here. We're going to paint those, and the inside walls in the kitchen, and then those are pretty much our home improvements that we're going to do. And then the place is, really finished. So, it's just a list you want to go over. And like I said, I made sure the list when buying the house was 3 or 4 projects. You don't want to get into houses that need 20 different things done, and you'll just never get done. So you really want to get that down to a minimum and get the price as reasonable as you can. So those are pretty much the key goals in doing stuff like this. If you're in California watching this video, you're fucked, but in a lot of other states, that's the key. Also taking note during this process, you can also reflect of like how in demand is the property that you bought, like possibly by putting it on Marketplace or putting it on Realtor, and just seeing what the demand is, how many people are like extremely interested in that area. That's more important than really real estate itself, because if you get a bad area, no one wants to live there. So those are some things that you can definitely reflect on. So and it keeps you aware of when you do go to sell this property, what you should be asking, and what number you got in it at. And, essentially that's your workable profit, is the number you got in at, 90, and add your fees in about 95. You got, what, another 1,000, another 1,000, we're at 96. So you just kind of just take a walk, assess the cost in your mind of where you're at, and we're going to assess what it's worth. And I think that's what a lot of you are probably waiting for is, well, man, how are you making money? So we're going to assess. And so we're at 96, which sucks, but no, it's honestly not bad. So we're at 96, and we just added drains and shit. So let's just say we're at 97, but give or take, we're at 100K from just random bullshit. If I'm valuing this property today, what would I say it's worth? And in my professional opinion, I would say, especially after really looking at the market and understanding the market in this area and seeing what other people want for their homes now, I would say safely 150,000, very safely, especially with everything done. I would probably even go 160 or 170, because it's going to be an issueless home. Beautiful wooded area. Look at this. Beautiful. That's why, I really don't even want to sell it. Like, even at 150. And I was talking to my friend that has a house in the area, pretty similar to ours, the one we bought, and it's not even as nice as this one. The roof's not as nice. And even he said he wouldn't sell his home for 150 grand. So asking your people in the area of like what their value in their home is, compare, like does this house have air conditioning? Does his, which both of our houses have air conditioning that we bought. Both of them have a good basement. Mine has a newer basement finish when I'm done. His is nice though. And even he said he wouldn't sell his for like under 150 because of the area. He said even at 150 he would just keep it, which I don't blame him. But he paid 60, so he isn't his really incredibly, but he bought it ages ago. It's a different world now. You have to remember that. So, though I am deeper into this house than he is on his, I would still probably say this one's more valuable. Thought I heard the river back there. We need to clear out this trail. As we're going to do one of the next videos, when I feel froggy, is we're going to get a machete and go back there and see what's back there eventually. But I'm not ready for that. But anyway, so reflecting on this house, I would say it's at a solid 150. So we turned 100 and 150. So we made a 50K profit basically. We just sold right away. And I think it would really quick sell right away at 50, knowing everything's just right with the house. But I would probably say, in reality, man, like with the location being so good, like I'd have to be at 160, 170. Just because I don't want to sell it. Like I really do. I've grown to like this place a lot. But in most cases, this is what the typical experience looks like. Just don't fall in love with the place you get. But realistically, the market would eat up something like this. Definitely at the 150K range. So it's all about making sure you buy at the right price and understand the mysteries that you get yourself into. So that's basically how you do it, man. Next thing I want to talk about, since we're out in the woods, is silver. And how important things are. Because I was just talking to a guy about solar. And, like, they're going around the neighborhoods. They're asking everybody to install solar panels. And you have to think, like, they're going to be on every house soon. Like, they actually offer you 40% less of your electric bill if you take solar panels. Everyone's going to do that, dude. So that's going to cut their electric bill in half. That means solar panel demand is going to be on every single house. And there's no other metal like silver that can be used for it. I mean, not only is this a currency, it really is a real physical metal. And that's what makes silver more attractive than holding paper. Is like, if you're holding paper, like the federal government, their whole scam is literally making you value the dollar. And if you refuse and and the world accepted not valuing the dollar, and you demand, silver and gold, you're set. Like, the whole scam depends on you not figuring it out. Like, that's how the Federal Reserve controls their interest rates, is literally through tricking you into valuing this money. And it's like, if they raise rates, you know what I mean? Like, no one can buy and sell houses. If they lower rates, then people buy houses. So and raising rates really will just crash it. Like, so I don't know. Like, that raising rates thing's gonna be wild, because 6% is already insane. Like, when you think of it as a builder's purpose. But either way, eventually, it's going to cause real damage to the economy. And, like, the only thing that can really save you from their system is gold and silver. I mean, it's the standout asset, the rebel asset of everything. Like, Pokemon's fire too, don't get me wrong, but silver is, like, really used for, like, a lot of shit. And it's needed physically. And if they put solar panels on every home, like, think about it. Like, silver is going to be valued as a metal itself for production purposes more than gold. Like, and it being in all kinds of batteries. Like, you got to price all that shit in. Of, like, do you think there will be tons of more silver available when they're installing solar panels on every single home? When they're, putting them in fields? Like, they're finding out solar is kind of the way to go for a lot of energy. And it is, like, not only a monetary metal, but it really genuinely is, like, a constructive metal that, like, it's actually needed in so much shit. It has healing properties in medicine. I mean, like, that's why people save in silver, because it genuinely is just, yes, it's a boring asset, but it's a real asset. You know what I mean? That, like, when you get your first ounce in your hand, it is a life-changing feeling of freedom, because you're holding the realest of the real. Like, you're holding an asset they can't print, that they have to dig for, that you can clearly see in the future is more needed than gold, more needed than anything. Yes, there's a decent supply out there to an extent, but, like, with all these solar panels, they're going to eat through silver. I mean, that's the thing, is, like, this metal actually is. It's not like gold. Well, gold's kind of conductive, but it's not like platinum or something where it's only used for, like, one thing. It's like silver is, like, generally, like, very conductive of electricity. And there's just so many things that go behind this metal, that the longer you stack for years and years and years, the more it educates you, and, like, kind of makes you realize, like, silver for $67, like, for an ounce, like, that's kind of a really good buy, because it's like you might not get offered this price ever again that cheap, like in the very near future. And like, I know it's had some volatility, but it's, like I said, not just a monetary metal. Like, there's so much more behind silver than it being a status symbol of like monetary, that like the whole world, if they come to the conclusion that they can't trust the dollars, and which you clearly can't, like you can see 6,000 years of currencies always failing, and if they can't be trusted, well, what can? You know what I mean? And it's land, to an extent, silver, and gold, like, but especially silver when it's cheap, that it really is like so extremely undervalued for the times we're in, and it's getting harder to mine, and you really don't see more supply getting out of the market. And that's why, like, I will patiently hold my stack and keep stacking, because you are really holding a symbol of freedom and wealth is ounce by ounce. Like, every ounce you stack is your decision to not waste your money or leave it in the system. Like, every ounce you extract from the system to yourself, you're winning long term. When the demand explodes for solar and EV, and I mean, I know it's already been here, but it's going to get a lot worse. So, I mean, for everyone out there, as crazy as people think 67 is, that maybe if you're buying earlier, like, you really are getting probably the greatest, most undervalued asset on earth. Because once the whole Federal Reserve scam comes undone for the dollar, like, it really is game over for them. Like, if all of us just stop, like, because people ask, this is what I wanted to talk about, was someone from Gen Z made a video and said, okay, well, we realize it's all a scam. Now what do we do? And I'm telling you what you do. Like, everyone has to ignore the dollar like it doesn't even exist as money. Don't accept it as worth a penny. That you only want silver and gold. You know what I mean? Like, their whole goal is to just sell you paper and cardboard and paper. Think about it even with Pokemon. It's like their goal is to just sell you paper, make you value paper. Like, I know it sounds a little conspiracyist, but and it's like, but in reality, like, the people holding metal will probably be very victorious, especially seeing the price of silver only at $67 when it could go to thousands. I don't know. Like, that's just how I look at it. It's still a good buy. It's a great time to stack silver. And the funny thing is even when you search in the computer, like, is it a good time to stack silver? And the computer literally does say any time is a good time to stack physical silver. Any time. So, meaning by any price, which does make a lot of sense. Because any price under fucking $200 is undervalued for silver as far as I'm concerned. As crazy as that may sound, any price under that is a great time to buy. So it's like, it's always a great time to buy physical silver, no matter where you're at in life. So, I mean, well, unless you can't afford it, but like, for the money you're saving, yeah, like, it's an incredible thing to do. And yeah, even if you do lose some money in the short term, like, long term, it's going to be disgusting. So, I mean, that's why I really believe that stacking is just extremely important to do, especially in the silver realm. Because think about how many people are not holding silver. You know what I mean? Like, and think of the people that are. Very small, fringe group of people, honestly. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. Hopefully you learned something. Fuck the government, we're out.